Hey guys, I know this is not the kind of content I usually make. I'm well aware of that. And I really haven't talked much about SpongeBob at all on this channel, but just for a little bit of context, I watch SpongeBob pretty much every day of my life. It has been my favorite show ever since I was young. I used to have a SpongeBob CRT TV, little box TV in my room with the controller, and one of the games that you could like plug directly into your TV, the RCA outlets. It was just a little thing, and it had SpongeBob's nose as the joystick, and then you would just plug it into your RCA. You wouldn't even have to plug it into the wall. And just my whole life, SpongeBob has been there, right? He's to the level of Donkey Kong, honestly, if I were to really step back and look. And so, when I was young, there was a game called SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and it's still one of my favorite games of all time. The remake is in my top 10 games of all time. And I used to play it all the time when I would go to the dentist. I got to the point where I would ask my parents to please take me to the dentist just so I can play that game. That's how much I liked it. So obviously, they eventually bought it for me. I loved it. It's what really sparked my love for the 3D collectathon, much in the same vein as DK64. Obviously, DK64 has a heck of a lot more collectibles than Battle for Bikini Bottom does, but that's where I got it. My love for 3D games. If DonkeyKongCountry was the birth of my love for 2D, Battle for Bikini Bottom was for 3D. And so fast forward to June of 2020, Battle for Bikini Bottom got a full remake, a rehydrated edition in June of 2020, in the dead center of COVID, when everyone was stuck at home and Animal Crossing was everywhere. This game was finally released, and I fell in love with the genre all over again. It was a remarkable remake. It's unbelievable. It's on Switch. It's even on your phone for like $9 or $10. It's a great port, by the way, but it's on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, literally any console you have. Rehydrated is on there. So in 2023, a sequel to that game came out. A sequel to a game that had come out 20 years prior, because obviously Rehydrated was a remake of Battle for Bikini Bottom. The Cosmic Shake came out, and it blew my expectations out of the water. I still to this day can't decide if I prefer Cosmic Shake or Battle for Bikini Bottom, just because they're kind of different. The stories are very different. Cosmic Shake is a bit more story oriented, but they're both very much the same. They're a SpongeBob 3D collectathon platformer, and they're some of the very best 3D platformers you'll ever play, mind you. So fast forward to today. When this video goes out today, THQ Nordic, who is the publisher behind all of these games, a lot of games from our childhood, THQ, you probably saw that at the beginning of a lot of games that you loved growing up. THQ Nordic is partnered with Purple Lamp Studios, and Purple Lamp is honestly kind of a sleeper titan of the industry right now when it comes to pumping out not just a lot of games, but quality games. They really proved themselves with the remake of Battle for Bikini Bottom. They proved themselves once again with a remake of Destroy All Humans 1 and 2. Another one of those is coming as well. And they proved themselves yet again with SpongeBob Cosmic Shake. And then today, I was sitting on my couch ready to be productive, ready to get a lot done for this upcoming school year. But guess what? Something happened. A new SpongeBob game, it wasn't only announced. Not only did a trailer come out, the release date was announced. And it's less than 4 months away. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to SpongeBobSquarepants Titans of the Tide. What a great title. I think it's the best title out of all of them so far, and this would mark the end of the trilogy that they started all the way back in
SpongeBobSquarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom's initial release date is October 31st, 2003.
All the way back in 2003. They are finally finishing off a trilogy that was started 22 years ago. And I'm obviously showing the trailer right now. It's got a bunch of references. If you grew up with SpongeBob at all, if you grew up with those original games, if you grew up watching the show, watching the movie, which is objectively one of the best movies that's ever been made. You've got David Hasselhoff singing this song. It looks unbelievable. It looks so fun. And one of the critiques of Cosmic Shake was that in Battle for Bikini Bottom, you had gameplay between SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy, and in Cosmic Shake, it was just SpongeBob. But kind of the compromise with that is that you now had a dodge and you had a glide with the pizza box. You had a lot more to do. You had a lot more actions to make everything like feel better. And so Patrick, it was very much a Donkey Kong and Pauline, or it was Mario and Cappy. It was SpongeBob and Patrick. Patrick was your companion that was there with you every step of the way. But now they're bringing back that old mechanic where you can be SpongeBob, but you can also be Patrick. They're using their BFF rings, and you can switch between them now. And I think that is awesome. I was not expecting to watch this showcase at all, but someone messaged me, and they're like, "You're a huge fan of SpongeBob. I didn't know if you knew, but THQ is having their showcase today," which props to THQ for genuinely having a great showcase today, a million times better than Nintendo's their partner showcase direct. I thought that was quite awful. But if there was something in there that you thought, I think Plants vs. Zombies will be fun. It's only $20, which is good. And I loved that game when I was younger. But for all my people who grew up playing Battle for Bikini Bottom and then bought the remake and then bought Cosmic Shake, this is exactly what we want. And props to THQ, props to Purple Lamp for continuing to fill this demand, right? Like, this is crazy, and it's coming in November, by the way. I don't even know if I said that. It's coming November 13th or 23rd, 24th, whatever. Not very far. Maybe it's 14th. I don't know. Middle to end of November, which is not long to wait at all, considering it's already August. Like, crazy. The premise of it sounds fun. It sounds like it's kind of going to be a Flying Dutchman versus King Neptune kind of thing, which I think is really cool. This is not what I was expecting, and I know this video might not do well because I don't usually talk about SpongeBob, but it still very much relates to what I enjoy, and 3D platformers, collectathons, everything that Donkey Kong and, Banjo and Mario, SpongeBob fits right in. And I really, really think that if some of you haven't played that game, you haven't played Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, if you haven't played Cosmic Shake, they're both on the Switch. They both run very well, especially on Switch 2. They are some of my favorite 3D platformers of all time. And the fact that we are getting a third one 22 years later, I think is unbelievable. It looks like it's going to be the most epic of them so far. You've got David Hasselhoff in there. I can't believe we're still getting them. Like, I didn't think that we would get even a second one. When Rehydrated came out, and it did very well, it came at the exact right time, middle of June in 2020, like, everyone was looking for something to do. Everything was looking for ways to fill their time and just things to do, and it was perfect. It was the perfect storm, and it was also the birth of one of the most infamous game reviews to ever come out on YouTube. IGN, I think, gave it a 5, maybe even a 4. It was bonkers, and there's a ton of video essays on it. You can go watch them. They're quite funny. Terrible review, genuinely awful, but we wouldn't expect anything different from IGN. But guys, if you're excited, let me know. Hopefully this video can maybe get some new audience members, some new eyes, people who grew up with these games just like I did, and people who are excited for this game and just the future of gaming in general. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of different video. Share it around, like it, join the Discord, become a member if you'd like, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day going into the weekend, and take care.